So this interview is about transparency and keeping it real. When I heard that you're going to roll out Vibe Rides, Holton, when I knew that you were going to launch a rideshare company, within months of the official launch, weeks of the official launch, which was September 1st, the last weekend of August, and I knew you're going to launch Vibe Rides, I got nervous. I got nervous because I feel like most people couldn't handle that if it wasn't rolled out the right way. I've seen companies roll out amazing announcements the wrong way, and it killed production. You did it with perfection and with precision, almost like a laser surgeon. Vibe Rides. Obviously, you're in the first few months of the launch. Numbers are at an all-time high, and we're hitting record-breaking numbers, and you roll this out. You're a new company, so you can never say you have customer support at the place that you want it. You can't say that, we are so ready for Vibe Rides and it's going to be perfect. I got scared because in iBuumerang, I'm still wanting customer support to get to a place where we need it. And here you are launching a new arm that's going to require its own personal customer support. So what kind of security can you give me? And I've seen it. I know what's going on. We launched Florida. We're about to launch Texas. But we're a global company. I don't even know if the United States is the fastest growing, segment in iBuumerang. I honestly don't know. But for someone from the outside looking in, you launched this incredible technology. Why would you do that so fast?
Great question. You talked about how afraid you were. Were you? I was afraid too. I was afraid to launch iBuumerang. To be candid, so we're just being uncut. This was a scary moment. Being a CEO, being responsible, being the owner. Now you got all these people all around the world depending on you. That's fear. But I've never grown by being comfortable. I've always grown by pushing myself to that next limit, and it's made me a better networker now because I have a different ear than I used to have. Okay, I have a different eye that I used to. I have more patience now. As a networker, the sky was always falling, and everything was urgent. Because here's what's common in network marketing: we come to you, and come to the owner or an executive. Hey, listen, we got this problem and we can't fix this, and everybody in my group is having this problem. And that used to be me. I would go to my, my superiors and say, hey, everybody's having this problem. And when you really quantified it, it was like 3 people. So when we say 3, it's like everybody's having this problem. And I used to have this panic. And now, because I know the truth and I know what's really taking place, I got more patience and I have a different eye. So let's back up and talk about why. Well, when we launched iBuumerang, we already told everybody what iBuumerang was. This wasn't a product company. We are a PRIB. That's who we are. Okay. PRIB, Perpetual Residual Income Builder. So I hope we have the slide of our PRIB here that they can put up on the screen. And so that's what we are. That's why we're so different. Everybody thought we were launching. For me to
understand, as they're pulling this up, the PRIB, P-R-I-B, when I understood this is when I knew I was going to go to work. If you remember, I'm one of the first people to join the company.
Right.
Secretly.
You were the second. You after Ed. You were the. It was you, Sam Bean, and Ed, who was who got the trio.
Yeah.
so it was Ed, Sam Bean on the right, and you on the left.
Yeah. So when I joined, I didn't join because I thought I was going to start building it this year. I joined that maybe I'll start building it 2 or 3 years from now when it's in place. But when I saw the PRIB, when you broke the PRIB down to me, I kind of knew that I needed to start placing leaders in secretly, that I worked with from the past or people that I knew, or get them to you secretly, because I knew the PRIB was going to be the secret, and the PRIB would ultimately be the reason why I had to walk away from $180,000 a month because you made me understand the PRIB, and the fear of loss was so incredible that $180,000 a month started looking like pennies to me.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the cool thing here. All right. So let's talk about this PRIB here. We didn't launch a travel company. All right, guys. Travel is the front door to our business, and it always will be, because why? Travel is sexy. It's cool. I've always loved travel for travel, but not as the business that it used to be, okay? Of being I'm a referring travel agent. That's not the business that works, okay? The travel industry does not like network marketing, having these IATAN cards, and everybody gets a card, and you get these discounts when you travel to these places, and you're supposed to refer travel. Nobody ever refers travel. So I didn't want to do that, but this PRIB was different. I said, the PRIB is going to be this hub, okay? I'm reading this book here, and I'm maybe digressing, but it has everything to do with what we're talking about. I'm reading this book called Matchmakers, all right? And Matchmakers is really about multi-sided platforms and these different types of businesses that are launching, your Ubers, your Airbnbs, your Open Tables, your all of these different companies that have multi-sided platforms. And it's different. This is a whole new industry. And so what we did in network marketing is we just network marketed a new concept of industry. Network marketing typically has only marketed single-sided platform companies. What is that? I buy a product, I look for a customer to sell it to. That's what we do, right? Even in travel. Well, I have access to a travel booking engine. I'm going to look for a customer to sell it to. That's network marketing. What we do, we're matchmakers. This is our company, guys. We're matchmakers. What is a matchmaker? What we do essentially is we are a hub. And what we do is we create an environment that is free to exist in this environment. And we put an opportunity here and we put a customer here. Both have value. The opportunity itself has value. And the customer base, or the customers have value because we let them in for free. They don't pay for anything to be in this environment. And so when you take a look at it, the customers are now identifying, okay, travel. I can save money on my travel for real. And they actually use it. I'll give you some statistics in a moment. Well,
hey, hold on one second.
Go ahead.
I want you to take your time on this particular visual that people are looking at. I'm going to stop my video real quick. I got to do something, but I want you to take your time. I'll break this down. Have fun with this. And again, the PRIB is the reason. When I understood this, and I really want you to break it down, and I have 3 hard questions for you after, and then I want you to ask me 3 hard questions. All right?
Gotcha.
But this right here is the reason. Holton Buggs is not the reason I walked away from $2 million a year. I'm just being honest. You're not the reason. If that were the reason, I would have followed you in coffee when you were making $1.4 million a month and I was making $70,000 a month. I would have, if it was about money, I would have followed you way back then. What he's about to break down is why I walked away from $2 million a year. This is why.
So, okay, so now you see there's the biggest circle that we have on the screen is the PRIB, okay? The PRIB is that perpetual residual income builder that has a combination of data analytics, okay, artificial intelligence, and an exemplary customer support service. Now, you heard Johnny. On a scale of 1 to 10, where would I rate our customer service right now as a company? Not our customer service agents. Our customer service agents, they're incredible. I love them. They work hard. They're working on weekends. But our whole process on a scale of 1 to 10 is about a 3.5 now. It used to be a 3, 3.5. We're getting better every week now, and I'll explain how that's going to work. Now, so that's what the PRIB is all about. It's about being able to provide for ambassadors or distributors who previously been in network marketing, who couldn't do certain things. If you can't present for yourself, well, guess what? You're at a loss. Well, we do that for you. We've got the most incredible, Johnny, you used our presentation tool. our presentation. How many presentations have you, Johnny Wimbrey, the great motivational speaker, how many presentations have you given?
Good question. Somebody has to give me access to turn my video back on. But I've done 0 PowerPoint presentations. I have used, I decide 100%, 72 personals. This month, my goal is to hit 100 personals. And thus far, I've done 0 presentations.
Okay, so that means it's working, okay? It's working. So now that means that the person who's afraid of presenting and don't like talking to people, they can utilize that as well. It's a skill that you got to use to be able to set up your conversation with the person. You don't just spam everybody and these people join. You've got to have a relationship, and you still have to make sure that you qualify them. So we do that. Following up, that's the next step that we've done now. We follow up and follow through with every ambassador that you bring in. Why? Because that's the problem. Remember we talked about the problem? People don't know how to do it, and people don't do it. So we put together 10 videos that when a person joins, they're going to get these 10 videos. We want it whereas nobody needs you, Johnny, as a sponsor. That if a person quits the business, so what? You've got the PRIB. The PRIB becomes your sponsor, okay? Yeah. So all of these personal dependencies that we have in network marketing, it's a thing of the past. It's old. It keeps companies small. So we've got that. Now, let me get into the product engine of what the PRIB does. It does a lot of other things that this PRIB is going to do, and it takes a lot of money and thought process and time to put all of this together.
Travel, can I just say real quick?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. When you blow my mind, man, I just can't. I can't sit still. For 20 years, I've been doing this industry. 20 years, I've been in the multi-level marketing. I've never heard anything like what you just said in my life when it comes to the PRIB becomes your personal sponsor. Slow down and digest what he just said. That is how Uber thought. That's how Amazon thought. Online becomes your store. You know, you have regular people, you don't have to buy a car ever again, but we'll be your vehicle.
Yeah.
The PRIB becomes your personal sponsor. That is a new way of thinking it's a huge shift in an industry that has existed for, I would say, 70 years.
70 years. But here's the thing, Johnny. See, most people when you challenge what's current, it doesn't work. It'll never happen because they've never seen it. And they're supposed to think that way because they're not supposed to. I understand it, but I don't listen to it. So I remember a day when we said, well, I'll never have a robot in my house. Everybody carries a robot around. You say, what? Siri, could you find the closest restaurant to me? You'll say, hey, Google, play this music. Or you'll say, hey, Alexa, do this. Well, when we do those are robots. And so my thought was bring those robotics into network marketing. You know, hey, PRIB, can you explain to me what my monthly subscription is all about? And then you go there and it automatically does. It tells you everything exactly. It doesn't make a mistake whatsoever. It never will. It's programmed to remove human errors, not human touch. So what we leave is that your personal sponsor is designed for the emotional component of the culture, but the instructional component can come from the PRIB. It's not going to make mistakes. It's no different than autonomous cars coming up. Autonomous cars, if autonomous cars were on the road today, we'd have 1 million more people living than we do now. So that way you'll be able to get in your car, enjoy your family, okay, and let the car do the driving. Why? The car would never take its 2 hands off the wheel. The car would never text message. The car will never take a call. The car will never not see what's in front, side, or in back. It will never make those mistakes. So what we're doing is putting all of that together so we can be in front. We know it's going to come with other companies, but when you take the lead and you become front runner, you build the most momentum who perfected the technology and the concept that second place is like, okay, it's like Uber. We're not going to be bigger than Uber. That's not our plan. But so that's the PRIB. So the PRIB allows that. Travel, why is travel important to us? because of those commissions that I just told you about, those people, those customers join for free. If you notice, we said 300,000 customers. Check this out here. Check this out. Here's what I want to share with you. My team, they're incredible. Now, we're 8 months old, Johnny, actually 9 months old. Let me read some statistics to you.
I love
We
it.
booked 39,737 travel bookings.
Wow.
Hello. Find one other travel company. Oh, they put it up there for me. They just sent this to me. This is a year in our review. Here's
This
my
is a one.
scorecard.
Okay, so this is a 1 year review.
Yeah, this is not even 1 year.
Less than a year. Let's talk about this.
1 year.
This is what I wanted to talk about. Let's go.
All right. So 39,737 travel bookings, $11.2 million in travel bookings. Okay. 96 is that almost $1 million in travel savings.
Wow.
These are for free customers. Average savings 9%. Average savings in November to December 12%. Why? We had a meeting with the owner of our technology, our partners say, nobody is booking like you guys are booking. Came right here to my house and said, listen, whatever you guys want, you got it. You tell us what you want. We said, we want better pricing in Europe. We got it. We want better pricing in Asia. He says, we're working on it. We want I can't tell you some of the other stuff that's coming, but we're going to do it. They've never done it for anybody else because nobody's booking like we're booking. We're 8 months old, 9 months old. So Here's a portion of our scorecard. This is why travel was so important, because as we get the customers into the PRIB, we got them into the PRIB. Uber got people into their PRIB, which is their app, by offering a matchmaking system. I'm going to connect a customer who wants a ride to a driver who wants a customer. They don't provide the service. They don't provide the car. They just matchmake. This is what we do. A customer who wants to go on a destination and a hotel who needs a customer. So we have a PRIB. We match those two up. It costs them nothing, and we get a commission from it. And we pay out those commissions. We pay 85% of every dollar that comes in on those commissions. We pay it back out to the field, okay? So we've been able to do that. Now, so what happened that Uber did, Apple does the exact same thing. Apple, I'll give you an example here, guys. I'm getting fired up right now. Here's what Apple does. Apple said, we're going to come out with a technology called Apple Pay. Now, all right, for all of those who have Apple phones, Johnny can't experience that because he's still in the dark ages with Samsung. But anyway, anyway, Apple Pay is a concept where you can pay on your phone. It's a free service. It doesn't cost you anything. You get to a computer or to a checkout counter. Guess what you do? Boom, you hit Apple Pay. Apple makes sure that your credit card is all scrambled. They never give a credit card number out, so there's no fraud with it. Everybody thought, oh, that's a free service Apple wanted to give. Hogwash. They didn't do that for a free service. It's a part of their PRIB. You know what Apple came back and just did recently? Struck a deal with Goldman Sachs. Why? So that every time you use Apple Pay, guess which card comes up first automatically to charge your purchases on? Your Apple credit card. But because you're in their PRIB, now when you use Apple Pay, the first thing that pops up, hopefully it pops up on mine. I'm on the phone, it may not. The first thing that pops up on mine is my Apple credit card.
Wow.
Okay? The first thing that pops up is my Apple credit card. Okay? Tell me right now, new monthly installments if I want them. The very first one, what is it? Apple, right here. My Apple credit card. So what they're doing is allowing me they allow me free access to a service. And then now, because I benefit from the simplicity of that service, when I go to use it again, I was going to use a credit card anyway. Which one do you think I'm going to use? I'm using Apple. And Apple gives me 3% back on my purchases. So which one do you think I'm going to use? It's smart business. But network marketing want to stay in the Stone Ages. But sadly, their distributors do too. Because if I can make $20,000 a month doing it the old way, doing it the hard way, I can't see $50,000 a month doing it a way that I've never seen before. So the PRIB allows us to do that. So now when we bring that in, we've got the customers. So our customers are saying, hey, we love this PRIB. 37,000 of them have booked already.
Right.
Do you think that they'll take a ride? Of course. They're traveling. And so rideshare is a component of travel.
Right.
It's a big industry. But and I'll end with this. Here's the biggest reason why we launched rideshare. A couple reasons. Number one, I was fascinated with rideshare 5 years ago. Uber blew my mind with this matchmaking concept.
I remember.
Okay. And you remember I talked about launching a rideshare company 5 years ago, and I woke up one day, this is the stupidest thought I ever had. Let me shut it down. And that was a big mistake. Anytime you have a big idea, guys, don't think it's stupid. So here's the thing that really got me. Okay. As we started to build, I started to see what was the enemies to network marketing. Number one, no new ideas. Here's what most companies do. I did it as well. In network marketing, companies fail to gain or regain momentum because they run out of ideas. And most companies think a new product is a new idea. Well, we now have 5 different flavors of this same product. And it's a product launch at their convention. We're launching strawberry, or we're launching chocolate. Right. And that becomes the innovative thing because they've run out of ideas.
Right.
We're not going to launch new products. We're launching new companies. So for the person who wants to be an entrepreneur, we're saying, hey, if you've ever wanted to be in the travel business and make more off of a booking than a travel agent does, you can join iBuumerang. Use our iGo platform. If you want to focus on travel, you can. It's free. You give them away for free. Hey, yes. If you've ever thought about owning your own fleet of limousines or rides or car pick, you don't have to invest in them. We're going to have hundreds of thousands of them on the road. All you got to do is connect them and connect your customers. We provided the service and you get the money for it. You actually get paid for it. Okay. And so I looked at it and said, the enemies to network marketing are, number one, the gig economy, which includes rideshare and concepts like Uber Eats and all of that stuff as well, rideshare. And then Amazon.com, because most network marketing have marketed products, and physical products needs to be shipped, which means you can buy them online. And if you can buy them online at your network marketing, you can buy them on Amazon much cheaper. You can't get a Vibe ride on Amazon. You can't get a travel at our price on Amazon. So I said, instead of believing that I can beat the enemy, because I can't, we don't have enough money to beat Jeff Bezos. You're not going to beat him. And so I'm not so egotistical to think I'm going to go up against what I know is changing. I'm not so egotistical to think that I'm going to go up against the rideshare industry where people can make themselves a guaranteed $1,000 a month by driving rideshare part-time, where it's difficult to make that in network marketing. I said, bring the enemy in-house and make the enemy go to work for you. When you find somebody who's really good at hacking computers, you hire them to build your protection system. You don't think that you're going to outsmart them. You hire them. So that's what we've done. That's where rideshare comes from. And our goal is to build so many transactions. We're working right now. We've got a goal of 2 million transactions a day going through the PRIB. The PRIB is where your money's at, not in the travel, not in the rideshare, not in the mobile, not in this and all of these other things. Okay. And so, but here's what we have done, Johnny, just so that you know. We have brought in one of the top customer service experts, period, not in network marketing, and customer service centers. Guys, stop thinking you need a network marketing person to do a corporate responsibility. You need a professional who understands that particular industry. So we brought in Frederick Brem that we hired over 4.5 months of thought and negotiation. We bit the bullet, brought him on in. He moved to Houston now, and we have built an entire team for rideshare. We've got a 24-hour customer service for our rideshare already, okay? Wow. We've got 9 total. We can scale it. There's a system. There's a philosophy. There's everything that we need. Why? You start with the smallest piece first. You're probably saying, well, why didn't you bring them to do iBuumerang? Because that's the biggest piece. Let's perfect it with rideshare that hadn't grown so big yet. And now what he's able to do now is he understands the whole layout, the platform, everything, and we're going to take the entire company and utilize the same exact system to provide an exemplary customer amazement service and take it from a 3.5 to an 8.5 to a 9.5. That's what the whole plan is.
Customer amazement services. You see how he thinks? Like the thinking alone. So I want to ask you some quick questions, and we're going to fire shoot this because I want to be done within the 2-hour period. And I promise you guys, this is the type of video that any high-level person that you're afraid to talk to, you're going to want them to watch this, because these are the type of questions, this is the transparency that they're going to want. They're going to want. So just real quick, how many customers have we acquired in iBuumerang in the since inception?
Since inception, they'll put the number up, but I think it's over 340,000 customers, I believe it is. He'll send me the number, I'm sure, because they're listing right now.
So
but it's over 300 and some thousand customers.
There it is, 330,000 customers to date in a startup company that's not supposed to make it, according to what we have said for the past 20 years. But what we fail to realize is every company that anybody's a part of at some point was a startup. 330,000 customers to date. How many ambassadors? Ambassadors, if you're watching this first time, these are representatives. These are direct salespeople. How many ambassadors? Okay, active.
They beat you to the punch. They beat you to over 40,000 active ambassadors. 1 presidential diamond, 4 blue diamonds, 21 diamonds, 28 emeralds, 59 rubies, 221 sapphires. We're fully transparent over here. Fully transparent. Now, here's what I want them to put up for you as well, if they have it. Guys, if you have the sequence of our travel sales, of how they've started and where they are now, every month how our travel sales have gone up, this is what I want people to see, because we're 9 months here. This is growing exponentially.
I've never seen a company, a startup company, if you will, show their numbers, this close out of the gate. So what you're about to share with them, what you're about to show them, it looks like you're going to show the progression chart.
Yeah, I want them to see it. I think we have a chart. We use it internally. We don't put it out there. Here it is, right there. You can see this is not something that this is internal stuff here.
This is scary. I can't believe you're doing this.
Yeah, guys, it's growing. We're not playing around here. It's growing. This is the real deal of what we do in travel and the savings. Look at it. It's growing every month. The only month that didn't grow was December, which we know is not one of the biggest months, but it's still, this is the real deal. Johnny, can you imagine? You built the travel business for 9, 10 years, 11 years, whatever. Can you imagine starting like this in 8 months? Now, here's the cool thing. We don't lose customers. Have we lost reps? Yes, we're going to, and we will always. We always will. That's just what's going to happen, all right? And some of it is because we failed them. Some of it, I'll take responsibility. We have failed some of our reps, okay? And it breaks my heart even when I see one person, whether they got in at the bottom level, who gives up on us, and I feel responsible for it. Some of it is because, their own reasons as well, but I take the responsibility for the majority of those people who said, I'm not going to be here anymore, or whatever. Or some of them say they see a shinier object or whatever it is, and which is cool. I'm not intimidated by that. Guys, put those back up real quick. Put those back up, those numbers back up. So can you imagine, Johnny, being here 4 years, knowing our travel numbers are not going to go down because our customers don't belong to the rep. The income from those customers belongs to the rep. The customers belong to the company, to the PRIB.
I love it.
And so
you've actually said we're not allowed to talk to our customers. I know you jokingly said that, but that got me excited. I'm like, well, what do you mean I'm not allowed to talk to the customers? Please, Johnny, don't talk to the customers. Let the PRIB do it.
Don't. Yeah. Why? Because you're gonna lie to them. I've heard people say, hey, listen, you know what? you book on iBoomerang on the iGo site, and we're going to upgrade you to first class when you fly. Where? The PRIB will never say that. And it's just people who get overexcited and they use things to recruit when the truth is good enough. The PRIB does it all. So we don't want you. No, we're not going to give you their phone numbers. No, let the company do the marketing to the PRIB, to the customers. We know what it is, and they're going to book. If you look at the numbers, we're proving we know what we're doing.
Yeah, no joke. And you know what's crazy is hindsight, looking at Amazon, now I know what they did. Like, I didn't understand that they wanted us to order books because they know what we're reading. And if I know what you're reading, I know what you like, I know how you think, and I know what to sell you. I never thought about that until I joined iBoomerang and I understood your mindset of why you led with travel, why you're leading with a rideshare company. It's because if we know where you're going, we know what you like. Let us sell to the people based on the fact of us studying where they're going.
To get back to what you said, and I'll wrap this up because I know you have a couple other questions. Now, don't get distracted or what Tigre says, look at the squirrel by Vibe. Vibe, if you look at this right here, you'll see Vibe is our first vertical outside of iGo. All right, so we get the customers through iGo, we bring them into the PRIB that way. That's the front door. And then now we're going to be building other verticals because that's what our market is. Now, if I said we're going to come out with a second PRIB, that's like coming out with a second category. The PRIB by default is a hub of multiple platforms. Remember I said we're in a multi-sided platform business and matchmaking? So we're matching. So the PRIB is where the matchmaking takes place. Well, it's no different than a dating site. A dating site takes a person who wants maybe a guy who's looking for a girl who's looking for a guy, both of them are single. They go to the PRIB. The PRIB creates a nice environment for them to be able to exchange, to get to know each other. And next thing you know, they're hoping that they lead in a relationship or a date. That's success. Same thing we have. We're bringing our customers into the PRIB. We're bringing rideshare into the PRIB. We're hoping that our customers want a ride from the airport. We know they need one. We're hoping that they want one to the store or want one to the game or want one to the party or to the bar, and they find it within our iBoomerang PRIB, and they leave there with the Vibe ride, and we're incentivizing them to do that. That's what we're doing. However, this is iBoomerang. Do not get focused on just Vibe. That would be dangerous. Why? Because rideshare is not easy to launch. It costs us more money to build the rideshare component than it does to build the entire iBoomerang. Being candid with you. This is not I think we should get in rideshare. Let's just add a car or two and it's easy. No, it's not. Okay. This is a beast. And so what we're doing is we've already made a few mistakes with Vibe. We've learned from it. We're entering world that nobody's ever done. So if you're expecting our company to be mistake-free, you should sit on the sidelines and maybe not bring any people yet. But we correct everyone that we say that we're going to correct. And so let us get Florida right. Okay. Here's what I'll tell you. We made a statement as to some other things that we're not going to open yet, because what we're doing is perfecting our system first. We're perfecting our foundation. And until we perfect our foundation, we won't launch the Boom Mobile. We won't launch these other verticals that we have. Right now, iGo, there's so much that we're going to do with our travel. We could actually have done iGo only with all the things we can do in travel and still be a major force. But we're going to do so much more with our travel. And then we've got our Vibe. And remember, Vibe is not just rideshare. Vibe is a matchmaking logistics company. So in the future, if you want food, we can do that. In the future, if you want parcel pickup or package delivery, if you want cleaners pickup, if you want hospital transportation, we've already got the foundation, and our app and our technology provides for that. So we are able to launch multiple sided platforms just within Vibe itself. That's why it was important to go ahead and start with Vibe now, because this is a fast growing segment. And the majority of our transactions on a daily basis are going to come through Vibe, and it's going to set the world on fire, specifically those who have the patience to understand I am here in the beginning. The book I'm reading right now, Matchmakers, I looked at Open Table, the concept of when they take people who want a dining experience and they match them up with restaurants who have open tables. Do you know it took them 3 years? It took them 3 years to even get the restaurants. And I'm looking at what we're doing right now, and I'm not patting ourselves on the back, but I'm really excited because when you read books, it tells you one of three things. It tells you either you need to start over, tear everything up and start over because you're doing it wrong, or it tells you, hey, listen, you don't know anything, so here's the direction that you go, or it tells you you're on the right track. And I'm pleasantly surprised that when I'm reading some of these books and talking to the professionals myself who are in industries that are much larger than what I've ever done, I'm finding confirmation that a lot of what we're doing, we're on the right track. We just got to get better at the things that we're actually good at.
I love it, man. I love everything about it. Just listening to you right now, it just reminds me of, the decision that I made personally is not only in my best interest, but truly my children's children. And I'm saying that for the first time with all certainty. So the blessing can also be seen and viewed as the curse if not careful. And I'm talking about ambassadors. And I love the fact that we're called ambassadors because that's really what we're doing. We are the ambassadors to build the vision of what you're putting into place. So